everyone, Mark Ashbridge here from markandstuart.com, and I'd like to welcome you to today's blog post and video. And this blog post, I'm going to be talking a little bit about how to get more leads. If you're in an MLM or network marketing business, or you're in some other kind of business opportunity or internet marketing, then of course, as we know, leads are really the lifeblood of your business, and it's very, very important that you're able to create a strategy and a way of having a constant lead flow. So, you may have got sick and tired of living that 9 to 5, living paycheck to paycheck. You may be sick of the boss, and you really decided that you wanted to check out this business opportunity that you'd been seen advertised. Perhaps a friend had pitched you on something, or you got something in the mail, or something caught your interest on the internet, and you decided to go along to a meeting, or you watched the sales video, and you thought to yourself, wow, this looks quite interesting. Maybe I can live this lifestyle, and you decided to get involved and sign up for that business opportunity. If that's the case, congratulations, you can class yourself as an entrepreneur, and it's a great, great lifestyle, and highly recommend that you stick with it. And of course, what happens normally is your coach or your sponsor, they help you get started, and they tell you to basically write down a list of 300 people you know, and that's everyone from, your family, friends, right through to like your hairdresser and the doctor and your dentist and your butcher and your neighbour, and try and remember all your old school friends and all that kind of stuff, and on it goes. So, I guess if you're brand new, not knowing much, you kind of go along with what they suggest, and you try to get in contact with all those people, and basically what happens 9 times out of 10 is they either just don't want to know, you can't get hold of them, they make excuses why not to speak to you. And the ones that do kind of listen to what you've got to say leave wondering whether you've been converted, you've joined some sort of cult, and of course what happens next is they basically avoid you, and that is really what happens in a lot of people who join network marketing or an MLM business or any other business opportunity, when they try to pitch to their friends and family and neighbours and so forth. So what happens is, of course, you go back to your coach or your sponsor and you tell them what happened, and they basically just sit back with a smile on their face, and basically say to you, just talk to more people. Just talk to more people. That's what they say. I know that's something that I've gone through. So, if any of this sounds familiar, I can kind of really appreciate that, because that is literally what I went through not long ago, and it was very, very, very frustrating. And of course, you're left there thinking to yourself, well, is this really an opportunity? Is it me? Am I at fault? Am I no good at this sort of thing? Was everything I saw in that original presentation, was it all just a big lie? And you get frustrated, obviously, and at that point, the vast majority of people who join this industry quit, or they join something else, and they start hopping along from one opportunity to another, and eventually they just quit the industry altogether and go back to their 9 to 5 job, which they hated, and they're back into that life again, stuck in that rut. So, again, if any of that sounds familiar, then what I want to share with you today is there is a way to get around this, and I'm here to help you solve that problem. And one of the ways to do that, one of the ways to attract brand new leads into your business without you having to pitch your friends and family and all that kind of thing, is to start your very own blog. And what I'm going to talk to you today about is how to position yourself as an authority in your niche, and actually have people approach you rather than you approaching other people. So I think you probably agree that sounds a whole lot better, having people approaching you and asking if they can come and sign up under you, rather than you having to pitch friends and family and making yourself look like some desperado. So basically, in this video, I'm going to show you pretty much how simple and easy it is to create an effective blog to do this. And what I'm going to be sharing with you is why you should consider having a blog in the first place, how to write great content for your readers, how to get visitors to that blog, obviously, and then how to convert your visitors into sales or into partners, into downline or whatever you're promoting on the back end. So without any further ado, let's get started on how you go about doing that. So the first thing you want to think about when starting out on the road of blogging is to really prepare and plan what your blog is going to be about. So it's really worth spending some time figuring out your overall objective of it. In other words, who's your target market? What is that target market wanting to read, and so on. You see, one of the golden rules about blogging is, the content must provide value to your readership. Obviously, remember that one of the benefits from authoring your own blog is that it generates you credibility and portrays you as an expert in your niche. So it's obviously important that you write with your reader in mind, and you can only achieve that kind of blog or that kind of success, I guess, again, if you're writing with your reader in mind. Too often, people write a blog from, I guess, our own perspective without thinking what the reader actually wants. And to do that, the easiest way to do that is to solve problems. So what are your market's common problems? So if you can write and help people solve their problems, offer value, then what will happen obviously is that your popularity will start to increase. Your readers will start to increase, they'll engage more with you, and most likely, ultimately, you'll obviously increase your leads. So when you've got that kind of knotted down, then the next thing you want to be thinking about obviously is the strategy for your content. What are you going to write? So you may have heard of the saying that content is king. And it's especially true when it comes to blogging. Not only will great content ultimately get you more traffic through, for example, the search engines, which actually love traffic, and also referrals and social shares. It really is the only way to create that relationship and that credibility with your reader, and ultimately to create that authoritative site. So what I want you to do now is to write down this list, which I believe is the best guide to generate great content. So the first thing you want to think about is to create a blog and establish yourself as an authority. So I've already said that, I already covered that already. Do something that's unique, different and original. There's obviously a lot of blogs out there now, and it's no good just copying what someone else has done. We are all unique. I'm different to you, you're different to me, you're different to someone else, you're different to your neighbour, to your coach, to other people in your industry or your business. We're all different. So put your own slant on it. Yes, obviously, write with your reader in mind, but write from the heart, write how you would normally speak to someone. Make it very conversational so people can actually form a relationship with you through the words that you write or the videos that you produce and so forth. Obviously, create content that's useful and helpful to your community. So again, solve people's problems and they'll appreciate that and come back. Answer common questions in your niche. So you'll find that no matter what niche if you're in, for example, if it's network marketing or MLM, a common question is, how do I get more leads? Well, you can actually help people with that very thing, getting more leads. And of course, by helping them, then you're more likely to create more interest for yourself and generate your own leads that way. Obviously, publish original content. I've said that before earlier up, but don't just copy off other people. Obviously, create original content that you can stand behind as your own. Create videos, just like I'm doing now. Videos is a great way to connect with your audience, so they can actually see you, listen to you, and really get a good feel for what you're about. It doesn't really matter if your videos aren't perfect. Don't worry about it too much. I know we can all get hung up on trying to find a perfect studio and get scared of the camera and that sort of thing. But I'm actually just shooting this video in my home office here. I've got a fairly cheap, I guess, or inexpensive handy cam. It only cost me a couple $100. I've got a bit of a light here that's just adding some extra light, and that's all it is. I'm certainly no expert behind the camera, but I'm just sharing with you things that we've found work, and hopefully if you did the same with your audience, then it'll just help you build that relationship with them. Publish how-to guides and tutorials, again helping people solve their problems. So you can really start to help people by showing them how to do certain things. For example, if you do create your own blog to generate leads, how about teaching other people how to do the same thing? You'll find that a lot of people out there, brand new in the MLM or network marketing industry, would really appreciate someone showing them how to set up a blog and generate leads through it. And just create lists of helpful resources for people. A really easy, resource guide for people to go to find ways to help them out in their business. So in summary, really what I want to say is that find out what people want and just give it to them. We've heard the whole thing before, find a hungry crowd and obviously feed them. Okay, and that's simply everything we stand behind. So once you've got an idea for some content, the next part of the equation is obviously your writing style. And this is going to differ for everyone obviously, but I find that just by following a few principles, it really helps your blog. So it really helps people engage and read your posts, and basically makes it easy for the reader to read what you're talking about. And it can be sometimes tempting to write these long-winded paragraphs that make you sound all incredibly intelligent and so forth. But remember the golden rule, write with your reader in mind. So keep it really easy for the person to read and enjoyable and make them want to actually get to the end of the blog post. It's very, very simple. So again, follow these golden rules, and we stick to generally 4 golden rules. So I suggest you get you can either write these down or they're written out below in the blog post anyway. But of course, the first thing to follow is, again, keeping it simple. Don't try to write like some sort of English essay or something like that. Keep it really nice and simple. Keep it conversational is the second point I'd say. Again, like you were talking with a friend, just like you were down the pub even, having a bit of a yarn, trying to come across as a natural kind of person. It's really important to do that. Keep it short to the point, don't waffle on. If you've got a point to say it and then shut up is another thing I'd say. And just a final thing on layout, try to keep the sentences in your paragraph to a minimum. We say, we try to keep it to around about 3 sentences, and then we have a break, and then another 3, and then, try not to write long-winded paragraphs. It makes it much easier to read. So feel free to use those pointers when writing your blog posts. So once you've got that sort of, you've got your content and how to write and your audience sort of buttoned down for your strategy, the next point, I guess, is obviously how to get readers to your site. Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about the promotion strategy for your blog. Now, obviously, we could talk a lot about the various different ways to generate traffic to your blog, and not only traffic, but obviously traffic that would actually be interested in reading it in the first place. And we're going to offer further detailed tutorials on this blog on actually how to do that. And I'll be adding links to this actual blog as we post more and more tutorials, so you've got a central reference point. But you can get overwhelmed if you're not careful here. So I just want to make that warning straight up. Don't feel as though you have to become a master at all the different ways in generating traffic. Okay, just focus on 1 or 2 and begin to learn and master that. So, obviously, if you've got the best site in the world, it's got packed full of content and so forth, it's useless without traffic. You'll obviously agree with that. So traffic is very, very important component when creating a blog for your business. So what are the different ways, I guess, of generating traffic? There's basically 2 different ways. In summary, we can either go down a free way of generating traffic. And at that point, I'd just like to say, we say free, it's not really free because it does involve a lot of time, and time equals money. You've probably heard that equation. Or there's a paid way. So just a quick summary on the free way first. A lot of bloggers obviously initially think about search engine optimization, okay, or SEO. And basically the idea of that is obviously to appear on the first page, if not the very first position in Google for a particular search phrase or keyword phrase as we call it. So for example, someone might type into Google how to get more leads in an MLM, and obviously the idea is that your blog post will appear at least on the first page, preferably within the top 3, if not number 1. Now, in order to do that successfully, there's basically two things you've got to think about here. There's what we call on-site optimization and off-site optimization. And essentially, on-site optimization is making sure that your blog is sufficiently structured to rank for that keyword. So here we're talking about your title, your meta description, the content of your blog, that it's not keyword spam, but obviously contains your keyword in the article. It's well written. It has sufficient words in the blog. It has an image, perhaps a video, and that sort of thing. And it's all optimized for that particular keyword or keyword phrase. And there's a tool you can use to help you with that if you're using WordPress. It's called Yoast SEO, Y-O-A-S-T SEO. It's a plugin that you use for WordPress. It's free. Just go and search on Google for Yoast WordPress. And basically, once you've installed that, Yoast has got a brilliant tutorial that explains exactly how to set it up. It's really straightforward. And then on each post, you can optimize through that plugin each post that you write for the particular keyword. And it'll actually score the post for you. It'll tell you whether it's a good post, whether it's well constructed for SEO or not, and suggestions how you can improve it. So it's really, really good plugin, and I certainly recommend that you add that to your blog and follow the instructions on to do that. And we may actually do an additional tutorial on Yoast coming soon. So if that's something you'd like for us to do, just shoot us a comment below, and we'll actually do a tutorial separately for you, because that's something we do use. And obviously as well, another thing you can do is you could actually outsource a lot of the SEO work for you if you wish. I know a lot of people don't want to get bogged down in SEO, and they actually go out and outsource that. Again, that's something that we'd recommend if you're time poor. You can go onto someone like Elance or Freelancer or Odesk and search for an SEO expert, and they will help you out both with on-site and off-site optimization. Just a note on off-site optimization. Off-site optimization, basically we're talking about getting quality and quantity links or backlinks to that blog post, and also social shares for that blog post. Now, Google does quite often change its algorithm on exactly how it treats various backlinks and social shares to rank. So I'm not going to get into that in this video, because it is something that changes quite often. Again, if you want to get into that more detail, and we can help you out with some resources if you want on how to do that. But again, essentially we're looking for links back to your website, both quality and quantity, especially quality though. I'd sort of bold that. And then social shares, so sharing the post through Facebook, Google+, YouTube, Twitter, etc., etc. And again, there are tools that can actually do that for you. So if you want to hear more about that, then let us know. That's obviously SEO. There are a number of other free strategies you can use as well to generate traffic to your website. We have forums. So forums are actually quite a useful way to generate traffic. You can find, obviously forums in any niche. No matter what niche you're in, there's always going to be a fair amount of forums in that area. And what you can do is you can just find, common questions in that niche. And then what you can do is actually write blog posts that answer those questions, and then go back onto the forum and just respond with a reply and say, hey, Mark here, I just noticed your question in the forum. I've got a great blog post that answers that question. Why don't you go and take a look and let me know if it helps, and just obviously then shoot a link back to your forum. It's a great way to generate free traffic. Obviously, just don't spam the forum with links and all that sort of stuff. It's not good form. But if you're actually genuinely answering the question that was posed in the forum in the first place, then you'll probably get a fair bit of traffic and a fair bit of thumbs up from the readership there. Social media, obviously, if you've got a Facebook page, for example, you can promote out your blog post through your Facebook page or YouTube channel, Twitter account, all those sort of things. And another strategy is obviously other people's blogs. So you can find other blogs in your niche and also comment on those posts if the author allows it. Adding more, again, don't just spam links, that's not good form. Actually offer additional value, and then obviously with a link back to your site. So that's some of the free ways to generate traffic to your blog. Obviously they can be time consuming, you can get tools to help you with that, or you can outsource the whole thing if you wish. And the alternative to free traffic is paid traffic, okay, and there are several different platforms to use, but essentially the theory behind this is that you pay for every click to your website. You may have heard the term PPC or pay-per-click, and that's basically what I'm referring to here. And it is a great way to get traffic to your website if you're brand new. If it's a brand new blog, you don't have a Facebook following yet, or a YouTube channel, or you don't really want to spend the time investing in SEO at this stage. And it does take some time to rank, for Google. Then just having a small investment in paid SEO is a great way just to kickstart your blog and getting some readers, and then encouraging your readers to share the content with their network. So you try to promote your content to go viral. Some of the popular methods, obviously, to do for paid advertising is Facebook pay-per-click. So that's very popular at the moment. Google pay-per-click is obviously another one. There's also YouTube as well, in fact. So, as an example of that, if you were to use a Facebook pay-per-click campaign, then basically what you would do is you create a blog post, for example, teaching network marketers how to get more leads for the business. You'd then create an ad using Facebook that targets network marketers, and then they'll have a link back in that ad back to your blog post. And then obviously what will happen is Facebook will charge you for every click. So for example, let's say they charge you 50 cents per click, and if they generate you 100 clicks, then that means 100 visitors to your blog post, and so it's essentially just 50 cents times 100 clicks, and you spend $50 to get 100 people to look at that blog post. And that may be a really good way if you're brand new, just to get some initial readers to your blog. And ultimately, it could generate 100 leads. So it's definitely something you should consider. So once you've started that traffic generation strategy, whether it's free or paid, obviously the ultimate goal is to really make that go viral and to start making some money out of it. Whether that be selling products or services or recruiting people into your business, for example. So I guess how do you do that? That's the big question. So basically what I want you to do is to focus on three things in this particular order, okay, when trying to monetize those people that come into your blog. The first thing I want you to focus on is to building your list, okay? So it's a bit of an old adage in network marketing or internet marketing generally, is that the money is in your list, and that's still very true even to this day. The money is still in your list, okay? So long as that you have a responsive list and you build the relationship with it. The second thing I want you to focus on is social shares. So I've already talked about that. If you are, whether it's free or paid, but particularly if it's paid traffic, to encourage your readers to share that post amongst their networks. And we've got some tools to help you with that, and I'll chuck a link at the bottom of this blog post to a plugin that we use that encourages you to share content with their readers, with their network, sorry. And then the third thing obviously is to offer your back-end products, services, recruit into your opportunity, whatever. Now I know many of you may be surprised at that order, and a lot of people try to flip that around and make the third one, the sale, right at the top. But we would suggest not to do that, and the reason is very simple. You see, too many online marketers are quick to promote and try to recruit, and all it does really is, to be honest, it pisses people off. it makes people just think all you want is my email address so you can spam me or whatever. So again, this whole exercise is about building a relationship with your reader. It's about them beginning to trust you, building that trust, increasing your credibility, and becoming an authority in your niche. This is the secret to success in online marketing, internet marketing, MLM, all those things. It really is the secret. And by building your list, communicating with that list, offering value, solving their problems, being basically there for them, almost being a virtual coach to them, it starts to generate that trust factor, and people will then buy in you. This is what this what this whole thing is about. It's them buying in you. So again, focus. I want to reiterate this. Focus on writing valuable content. Continue to do so as you start to build a list and a following, and you get social shares and perhaps on your Facebook page and so forth. Continue to write more and more valuable content, and then once they've added themselves to your list, promote that content back to it. So that, send out an email to them and say, hey, I've written another article today on how to help you with XYZ. Why don't you take a read and let me know how you think, and if you like it, share it amongst your friends. Actually ask for that. So you can really help take that content. So look, I hope you found this video helpful. Again, I really hope that you take on board a lot of the things that we've said here in this blog post, in this video. And if you do that and focus on offering value, content, solve people problems, be consistent doing it, build a relationship, you'll find that your blog becomes somewhat known in the industry, and over time you really will start to make more sales and recruit more people into your business if that's the industry that you're in. So guys, let me know what you think about the blog post. I've got this below written out as well. Some of those points I've actually got it written out below. Some tools below for you to help. Love to hear your thoughts, so please comment. And if you like the blog post, then go ahead and share on Facebook, Google, and so forth. And we'll look forward to the next one coming soon. Thanks.